Hello and welcome to the Profitable Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Rich, and as the founder of the Bold Life Movement and a fellow coach for more than 7 years, I know the challenges that many of you face when launching or growing your coaching business. And I'm here to pull back the curtain on the coaching industry and help you overcome roadblocks to make the impact you were born to make. Each week, I'll be interviewing successful coaches from every corner of the industry to share exactly how they have managed to generate massive impact and income. From strategy to psychology, we cover it all. This show is presented to you by Transformation Academy, a global marketplace of courses and coaching certifications. So whether you are already part of our epic community or you're brand new to this show, if you're ready to learn what it takes to turn your passion for service into a profitable business, then keep listening. You are in the right place. Hello and welcome back to the Profitable Coach Podcast. This is episode 19. So if you want to get any of the show notes from today's episode, you're going to head over to theprofitablecoach.com/019. And today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Recently, we gave a webinar called How to Quantum Leap Your Business. 3 of the biggest mistakes that coaches make when launching their businesses and how to avoid them. And since our doors just opened for our Quantum Leap program, I wanted to follow up to that webinar with a little more information about how to truly quantum leap your business. On the webinar, we talked about what not to do, but I want to tell you what is imperative if you really want to become a profitable coach. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, Kim, I missed the webinar, I really want to watch it. Email our team, contact@transformationacademy.com and say, I really want to catch the webinar replay. Is it still available? And we'll see what we can do. But in terms of today's podcast episode, I wanted to tell you guys the one thing that will separate coaches who succeed from those who don't. Coaches who continue to spin their wheels versus coaches who are able to quantum leap, like really jump to a different timeline in terms of their coaching. And there's really only one thing, and that is faith. Now, if that sounds really nebulous and really frustrating to hear, fret not. I'm going to give you guys some tactical ways to apply faith, but really it is your belief that is going to set you apart from those coaches who do not succeed. There is not a single profitable coach out there who has found success and didn't believe it was inevitable. They didn't just happen upon it. Success does not just happen overnight. It's not luck. It is hard work, determination, and faith that brings that to reality. So how do you have faith when you have no reason to believe that your success is possible, let alone inevitable? Well, you start doing work on yourself. You start examining the beliefs that you currently have, which make it hard to have faith, which make it hard to believe in the unseen. And then you do everything in your power to flip those beliefs on their head. If you have a belief that success is only meant for people who are younger than you, then you start telling your brain, I can achieve success at any age. I am the perfect age with the perfect amount of experience and wisdom to call in the exact dreams that my heart desires. I am the exact coach that all of my clients who are meant for me have been waiting for because of my age, because of my wisdom, because of my experience. My energy, my aesthetic is the exact aesthetic to call in the clients who I'm meant to serve. No one older, no one younger, just me. So start doing that mindset work now, because mindset is going to be 80% of the game forever in your entrepreneurial and coaching journey. So one of the ways to start to have faith is to really examine those beliefs. Another way is to start as though it's already happening, to act as though it is already done. I'll give you an example from my own life. When I decided that I wanted to give a TEDx talk, I had very little speaking experience. Very little. And at the time, I didn't have a speaking coach. I knew a handful of people who had given TEDx talks, but outside of hearing from their anecdotal experience, there wasn't really much I could do aside from start to speak. So that's what I did. I was like, what does a speaker do? They speak. So I joined a Toastmasters club. I started giving workshops in Austin, Texas. And I quickly realized that to become a better speaker just meant starting to speak. If you want to write a book, start writing. If you want to coach, start coaching. So it's time to really become the person who has the thing that you want. A huge part of faith is stepping into the becoming before you feel ready. Tony Robbins always says that the person with the most certainty wins. So it's your job as a new coach to develop that level of certainty, to become as confident as possible as a coach, and to behave as a profitable coach would. So I want you to get really clear on what does the profitable coach version of you look like? What do they think? What do they do? What habits do they have? What do they read? What do they wear? And start embodying that now. What is their physiology? How do they sit? How do they speak? When they get in front of an audience, are they stumbling? Or are they polished? When they get in front of a client, are they relaxed and confident? Or are they nervous and fumbling over what they're going to say? And then start doing the things that close that gap. If you're currently nervous, getting on coaching calls, getting on discovery sessions, practice. Find another new coach, join a community, join one of our programs, and start putting yourself in the arena with other people who have the same goal, who have the same drive, who are earnest about their faith. Inside the Quantum Leap program, we give you all the tools, all the tricks, all the strategies. But if you don't have faith, if you don't have this one thing, it's going to be really hard to succeed. So you have to start doing the things that a person with faith would do. Start to become a profitable coach now. Now, I want you to go back and listen to the other episodes of the Profitable Coach podcast and hear what are the things that these people did? What are the things that they embodied, that they moved through, that they wish they had known when they first started? On the Amy Huffman episode, she says, I wish that I had trusted my own intuition. I wish that I had known what I was desiring, what I was wanting to create inside my business was what was going to bring me the most success versus what I thought I should do. When we embody faith, when we believe that our success is inevitable, we're less worried about the shoulds. We're more in line with what our higher self is pulling us towards and less distracted with what's happening out there. People with faith in one God, one religion, let's use religion as an example, because that's where the word faith, a lot of us have an initial association with. People with faith in one God, they don't really worry about what other religions are doing. If you have faith in your success, you don't need to worry about what other coaches are doing. Find a mentor who embodies what you want to embody and follow the path that they've led, but create your own flavor. Trust that your unique story, your unique message is what is going to make you successful. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, but also don't try and fit into a mold. Don't try and fit into a cookie cutter shape of someone else's cookie batch, right? You are just enough as you are. You are worthy of all the clients. You have just as much wisdom as you need to get started now. So I really want you to sit down and reflect. If I had faith that my success was inevitable, what would I do? If I had no story of insecurity, if I had no story of doubt, how would I act? How would I show up? What would I create? What would I offer? What would I sell? Who would I reach out to? Who would I partner with? I'm going to ask that question again. If I had faith that my success was inevitable, how would I show up? This is one of the most powerful stories that I've been able to learn in my own personal growth story. My own personal growth journey is if I didn't have a story around this one thing, around this one person, around this one project, how would I show up? Would I just reach out? If I didn't have a story around my ability as a writer, would I write? Probably. And it all comes because of faith. So this episode is going to be pretty short and sweet because I just want you to take the one important thing that will separate you from your success and not. And that is do whatever you need to do to cultivate a strong belief in your inevitable success. And then put yourself in containers where people can give you the tactical, practical strategies and tips. Join us in Quantum Leap if you're someone who has that earnest belief but just doesn't know the 3D the pragmatic, the strategic steps to take. They need help with a little bit of the marketing. They want to be around people who are also believing that their success is inevitable. They want to practice coaching with other coaches so that they can start to harness and cultivate even more confidence. If that sounds like you, then I invite you to join us in Quantum Leap. The early bird pricing ends on November 19th, and you can get all the information that you need at qlbootcamp.com. But remember, the one thing that's going to set you apart is your faith. I have faith in you. Can you have faith in yourself? Sending you guys lots of love. Mwah.